So the consequences of climate change can be sometimes a little difficult to perceive. But here in Louisiana, we can witness its impact right in our backyards. Mangroves are invading our salt marshes. And here in Louisiana, we're at the forefront of this transition. So we don't really know what that means for food webs and food production coming out of our wetlands. So every consumer needs to eat, and every consumer, directly or indirectly, relies on energy provided by primary producers, such as plants or phytoplankton. But not every consumer can digest plant material, so they have to eat other consumers that can. Fiddler crabs fill this role. They feed on detritus, which is basically decaying plant material and diatoms that they scrape off the mud. And by doing that, and by simultaneously being preyed upon by other consumers, they make this energy from primary production available to higher trophic levels. And they do that in all three realms: air, land, and water. So with that, they provide a very important link in the food web connecting primary production with higher level consumers. Why do we care about that? Well, if we look at consumers, some of them are really dear to us. So if we look at birds, everybody loves birds. Then we have some land animals that feed on crabs, such as raccoons or hogs, and then there are aquatic predators, such as blue crab or fish. And people here, especially, love to eat that stuff. So because of that, there's a large economic value in these species. So as of right now, in our salt marshes here, the system is working. So the primary producers support the crabs support the other consumers. Great. But we have no idea how these food webs will respond to a climate change-induced shift of vegetation, as for example, the invasion of mangroves into salt marshes. Now, this is exactly where my dissertation comes in. So I'm looking at the response of fiddler crabs. Fiddler crabs are among the first organisms that appear at a habitat, plus they feed on detritus, so directly on primary producers. So this makes them very likely to be the first organisms to respond to a change in the environment, for example, through climate change. So by quantifying their response to this transition, we can estimate how other similar organisms will respond to change. And by that, we can hope to estimate and predict how food webs will react and respond to a change in the environment, both here and around the world. Thank you.